There we go. That's a recording begun. So, the plan for today. Qualifier plan. Which means this might be a short stream. I hope this is a short stream so I can go to bed really early tonight. Because I gotta wake up at, like, absurd, insane o'clock tomorrow if I qualify. And if I fail to qualify, I don't gotta wake up tomorrow at all. And I get my whole weekend to myself. So this is like a win-win. It's my favorite part of these kind of events. Alright, do I have these plan points? Sweet, I do. Let's see what we get for our first pool. Huh. Okay. So we have 2 complete devotions, a duelist as a 2-drop that's good, 2 jawbone duelists, 2 mandible justice cars, planar disruption, Skrelv? Oh, White, you know how to make me happy. Charge of Mites, Gold Warden's Helm, Orthodox Enforcer. So, a billion 2-drops that I love. That's kind of about it. But sometimes that's all you need. Blue has 2 Skull Bombs, a bad spell, more bad spells, 2 Gitaxian Raptors. An Immobilizer? Ah, shoot, this blue's actually playable-ish. It doesn't have 2 drops, but, I mean, Gitaxian Raptor's a really good magic card. Also, like, Blue Sun's Twilight's pretty good. And Vivisurgeon's Insight isn't bad, if you're in blue already. Like, Quicksilver Fisher isn't garbage. But, no 2 drops. Black has Whispers of the Dross, Blight Belly Rat. Okay, we're not playing black. Red has Gleeful Demolition, Slinger. No 2 drops. Volt Charge, Chimney Rabble, Hazardous Blast, Splitters, Dragon Wing Glider. Green has Branch Blight Stalker, Canker Bloom, Predation Steward, some Ruthless Predations, Titanic Growth, Spore Singer, Viral Spawning, Tyvar Stand, Atrocities, which I guess could be good if we, like, hypothetically went green-white Toxic with Jawbone Duelist. Blue-red has Serum Core Chimera and Ovika. Green-red's got a Cinder Slash Ravager. 2... Oh! 2 Dune Movers! Now we're in business. Now the options open up. And a Prism? Tablet of Completion, like, could be reasonable if the goal is to, like, play 3-color top end. 2 Atlases. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I can resist shenanigans. Don't like Glistener Seer? Nah, I don't think that card's very good. Like, Glistener Seer sees more play than it ought to because blue is desperate for cards that it can put on the battlefield, and Glistener Seer is technically a warm body, but it is not something that you actually want to play. It is just something you sometimes have to play, and blue has to... Let me put it this way. Glistener Seer is the bottom of the barrel. Most decks are happy when they don't have to scrape the bottom of the barrel, but blue decks usually have to dig through the bottom of the barrel to get to the precious, desperate dirt underneath the bottom of the barrel. So for a lot of blue decks, Glistener Seer is actually kind of better than, you know, the trash that you're used to. Alright, so we're probably going to end up playing a deck with white because 2 drops are busted. But let's look at shenanigans first. let's assume for a moment that we were going to play a teamer deck. What would teamer deck look like? Is sealed fast like draft is in this set? Yes. Although I do actually think you can build good 4-color dirtily draft decks in this format if you know what you're doing. There's kind of a specific madness to it, but it's a lot harder to put those tools together in sealed, because you just don't get to get all of the same tools. In general, with 3, 4, 5-color decks in this format, the trick is that you are relying on Dune Mover, Phyrexian Atlas, and Prophetic Prism a lot, alongside Contagious Vorak. And the secret sauce is the ways in which you can turn Phyrexian Atlas and Prophetic Prism into very good cards. And that is basically Gleeful Demolition and Hexgold Slash. Because if you spend turn 3 playing Phyrexian Atlas to ramp you to top end and color fix, you need to regain tempo. And if you are able to cast a Gleeful Demolition on your opponent's stuff, or a Hexgold Slash on your opponent's stuff on the same turn you play Phyrexian Atlas, then instead of losing an entire turn 3 worth of tempo, you've instead lost 0 tempo. And like that difference is massive. The other fun thing is when you have Prophetic Prisms as your color fixing in the mid-late game, or just any time where you don't actually need Prophetic Prism to fix your colors, Gleeful Demolitioning Prophetic Prism, which doesn't feel bad because it drew a card, is a huge tempo swing. 3 1/1s make for amazing blockers. Way better actually on defense than they are on offense. So what does our removal look like here? We have Blue Sun's Twilight. We have Surgical Skull Bombs. We have Immobilizer. We have Predations. We sort of have Gleeful Demolition. This is not a deck that wants Titanic Growth. I don't even think this is a deck that wants Bring the Ending. I don't think this is a deck that really takes advantage of Spore Singer. Okay, I gotta say, this is a very reasonable teamer deck. Very reasonable. I don't know if Ruthless Predation can fit. I don't think we have enough creatures to support that sort of game plan. So I think we don't do Ruthless Predation. We have 5 2-drops that are proactive. I would like more. I suppose in that sense, Bring the Ending is a proactive 2-drop. I'm not sure if I love Vivisurgeon's Insight. I don't think I hate Vivisurgeon's Insight, though. We have the Volt Charges that are playable. We have Chimney Rabble that's just a solid defensive card. That should probably make it a cut. I guess Tainted Observer isn't bad. Yeah, we could play Shrapnel Slinger. I'm trying to... We need double red for Dragon Wing Glider, but a big part of what makes a 2-drop... Oh, we probably need to play Tablet of Completion, huh? Yeah. Okay. That has to happen. So a big part of what makes two drops good is the consistency. A good part of what makes proactive two drops important and good in this format is that they play defense well. And in order for them to play defense well, you need to be able to consistently cast them, and every concession you make that makes them less consistent to cast makes all of them worse. So if I tried to make my mana base capable of playing turn 2 red card reliably for a single red card, I'm worried that that would actually be worse than just trying to make my mana base capable of casting all of these cards very consistently. But I'm not sure if we're actually going to be making that sacrifice or not. Look sunburned. Took a shower a while ago. And also the yellow shirt makes that pop even more. I just get very flushed when I take a shower, typically, and it takes a couple of hours to go away. Did it hurt when I fell from heaven? Only a little. Tainted Observer. Is this card good? Yeah, it can be a shatter. The trouble is we're now at the stage where we're considering whether we're cutting anything. So if I want Tainted Observers, it needs to be instead of something, and the same is true of Shrapnel Slinger. Hypothetically, we could cut Tyvar's Stand, but I really don't want to. Vivisurgeon's Insight is probably something that could be reasonable to cut. But I mean, it's also good. But we also might not need more card advantage in this pool. As it stands, I might want more cheap removal. Is there an argument to say that Surgical Skull Bomb is worse than Volt Charge? I don't know. I've never actually played with this card at any point in time. I mean, card draw does sound kind of useful when we're trying to draw towards Ovika and Blue Sun's Twilight and Cinder Slash Ravager. But also, just killing things is cool too. So, like, I don't know. But also, 2/3 flyers that block are kind of decent. Yeah, I mean, cycling is good too, though. But also, Proliferate with Tablet of Completion is kind of good. But also, being able to use the mana on Phyrexian Atlas to play Surgical Spell Bomb is kind of good. I guess I could split the difference. That way I'm only half wrong. What about Slinger instead of Lethal Demolition? I think Lethal Demolition is just very good. And I think this is the kind of deck where it is actively just the best it ever is. And the big reason for that is that it's amazing with Prophetic Prism, and it's very good with Phyrexian Atlas. Prism because you can target it with Prism, or you can target Prism with it, which is a fantastic defensive play for the kind of dirtily decks like this. And Phyrexian Atlas because if you're playing against anything where your opponent has a Gleeful Demolition target, and you're trying to do ramp stuff anyway, the turns where you get to go Phyrexian Atlas, Gleeful Demolition something are just massive tempo swings. That is like that sort of tempo swing is the exact kind of thing that a deck like this is desperate for. If I was going to play Tainted Observers, it would be because I was interested in playing a 3-mana 2/3 flyer. Vanilla. The rest of the text on it doesn't matter to me, or at least doesn't factor in. I'm sure that the rest of the text would be useful, potentially, but isn't the primary concern. This might be a list where Glistener Seer could actually be worthwhile. Just on the basis of we have so many high-powered bombs that consistency is powerful. And it fits my definition of one drops are good with Atlas, I guess. Do you really want the Prism, considering you have 4 fixtures already? I think Prism is pretty useful, and I need to be fixing for double blue and double red. Tyvar's stand is so busted, and X spells with Ovika are extra good, but it could be that Tyvar's stand is something I'm supposed to cut to run Glistener Seer. I got a lot of creatures, though. And Tyvar's stand is another one of those spells that can be high impact on 1 mana, which is, again, what we kind of want to do for Phyrexian Atlas. Oh yeah, as far as more creatures for fight spells go, that's true, but at this point, I think I'm kind of... I don't have anything here that I want to cut for a fight spell, so I don't think I'm fitting the fight spells back in anyway. Glistener Seer also is Oil Synergy for Cinder / Ravager. That's probably enough to make me want to play it. But like... what am I supposed to cut? Tablet of Completion seems slow and doesn't fix mana. It isn't fast, but bear in mind that we have a large amount of Proliferate. Technically, we can proliferate with Canker Balloon. We don't actually have as much Proliferate as I thought we had. Huh. Maybe that's a stronger reason to play the other Volt Charge. So we have some Proliferate to help it out. And we also have expensive cards that we don't mind ramping to, even if it's slightly slowly. Doesn't take long for Tablet of Completion to make Cinder / Ravager real good. What draw / cycling do we have now? So we have Vivisurgeon's Insight. We have Serum Core Chimera. We have Tablet of Completion. We have Dune Mover as far as cycling / card advantage goes. And then we've got stuff that's virtual card advantage. But as far as like stuff that digs towards bombs, we have those pieces. How was the PT? Very fun. Results weren't great, but very entertaining. Yeah, I think we're supposed to play the Glistener Seer. I don't know how to fit it, but I do think we're probably supposed to play it. We could probably get away with only playing 1 Volt Charge. Even if that might make Immobilizer slightly worse. We can definitely get away with 16 lands. 16 lands is my plan. think this would probably be how I build this if it were to be 3-color Teamer stuff. Whoa. All right. Select that crop. All right, and if we were to instead play white, then what would we pair the white with? If we paired it with red, it would probably look like this. That's pretty good. It's very consistent and very good. Would have preferred more red combat tricks, but, you know, what are you going to do? And if we paired it with green, it looks like this. I guess we could also fit the Dune Movers into red-white, if needs be. This is also very good. We get Tyvar's Stand with Jawbone Duelist ×2, which is kind of nutty. Jeskai without the green. So we lose access to Branch Blight, Cankerbloom, Predation Steward, Tyvar Stand, Cinder/Ravager. Losing Cinder/Ravager kind of sucks. Get the Dune Movers, probably lose the combat tricks. I guess we could hypothetically play Gataxian Raptors. Thing is, I think we need to be aggressive if we're playing white, because Skrelv's Hive, Mandible Justiciar, Jawbone Duelist are not good blocking cards ever, right? And I don't know if I love the fixing here. Could play a Prism. I mean, I guess we have 2 Dune Movers and Prism. I can't say this deck is actually bad, because this could be a pretty good aggressive deck. I don't think I'd want to splash green, since this is a deck that wants a lot of white sources and then needs to start fixing double red and double blue off of your Dune Movers and Prophetic Prisms. And trying to do that in addition to the red. If this was only a single red pip and a single blue pip, I would be happy to be this 4-color aggro deck, but... Oh, playing Atlas in this? Yeah, that makes Blue Sun's Novika better, but... I could certainly play 1 Atlas. And what? Not play Charge of Might, not play Gold Warden's Helm, play Cinder Slash, play Tyvar's Stand. it feels hard to justify backing up aggro with powerful but kind of slow cards. I feel like Ovika's doing something different from all of these other cards other than maybe Mandible Justiciar. Can we do a Naya thing, though? Just play the little Glider, the Ravager, the Tyvar stand. Kind of awkward, but not impossible. This is probably a deck that wouldn't hate having the Ruthless Predations. Oh, this is a good pool, but it's got like 7 very viable decks. So much for speedrunning. How's this for a nightmare? How many creatures here have Toxic? Not you. We might not actually play Veil of Assimilation in this version, which means we get to play something else. Charge of Mites. How do I even decide between these options? I'm gonna choose the one that's Teamer because it's fun, but I don't think it's the best. But I'm doing my due diligence. I think this is probably actually the deck I should play. This seems extremely good. I'm not gonna, but I probably should. Although, we should probably fit Titanic Growth in here somehow. I'm not sure how to do that, but we probably should. All right. I'm not going to figure it out. Let the record show this is probably the correct build. Don't know how you cast Glider. Well, yeah, I guess it does kind of want double white. I'm relying pretty hard on Dune Mover. It's possible it's not correct to play the Drago and Glider. Just splash a single red for the Ravager. Feels weird, but could bring Glider in some matchups. Then you get to play Titanic Growth. I could see that. Either way, this is probably the correct build of this deck. It is not the build of this deck we will be playing, because I don't know whether I'm a coward or if I'm the opposite of a coward, but I'm absolutely going to play the fun deck and not the deck that is most likely to qualify. So let's see. We had Atlases, Tablet, Prism, Dune Movers, these cards. Did I cut Stand? No. Was playing this. You. Glistener Seer. Was this the setup? This looks like the setup that I had. I still want to fit the other Volt Charge and the Shrapnel Slinger and the first copy of Skull Bomb. Oh well. Time to make a functional mana base. Let's go with 6 blue. Let's go with 5 blue, 7 green, 4 red. That feels probably okay. Probably okay. Ship it. Yeah, okay. What glorious nonsense. This definitely feels like not the format to play 3 colors. I think that this is actually a format that is entirely reasonable to play 3, 4, or 5 colors in draft. I've done it to good effect. I think that's actually like an incredibly underdrafted archetype. And this has most of the tools that make that work. 1 land is not the tool to make that work, though. Hypothetically, if Sealed is slower than Draft, then it should be a better archetype in Sealed than it is in Draft. But then again, there are more bombs in Sealed, so who's to say? Okay. Huh. So this is really interesting. Do we get rid of Volt Charge, which is keeping Tyvar's Stand is the better hand if we draw a 2-drop by a lot? Keeping Volt Charge is a play we can make on turn 3 if we're desperate, or turn 4 if we fail to draw a land. I actually think that I get rid of the Volt Charge and just hope to draw a 2-drop. Alright. I mean, Chimney Ravel's not good, but also not bad. If we don't draw a land at any point, then solid. But we can draw a Branch Blight Stalker, and that's great. Oh yeah, I think going, like, 4-color ramp as a strategy in Sealed is just, like, basically never going to happen, because a big part of what drafting that archetype relies on is that other decks don't want Prophetic Prism and Phyrexian Atlas. So you get, like, very reliable access to these ramp tools. Basically, the fact that it's underdrafted is a big part of what makes it consistent. I mean, I can prevent a lot of damage by throwing this at Magmatic Sprinter. I'll get an opportunity to use Tyvar's Stand. I don't think I have to worry about that. I think I should just minimize the amount of damage I'm taking. Oh, or just draw like a god. That works too. There's a possibility that if I do draw a land, we might still just play Chimney Rabble hold up Tyvar's stand instead. Alright, you want to use a combat trick to get through my O3 opponent? Don't use +3/+1? It would make me sad. X-Cold Slash. Ew! Well, I mean, that's good. Look at Chimney Rebel. Just being a stellar holder of ground. No, in that situation, I would not have scryed on my upkeep, because I don't actually care a huge amount about playing Dragon Glider for sure that turn, because I had the Chimney Rebel play lined up anyway. This is where I start getting aggressive. Nah, I don't see why I need to get aggressive when I have an Ovika in my hand. No, my glider. Sad. Alright, so moderately inconvenient 2/2. I think we'll probably survive that. Well, I mean, that's not immediately useful, but it's not immediately bad either. This may now be a point where I actually have to start racing my opponent. Tragic. Alright. I don't think I block with the 1/1 here. Pick up Hexgold Halberd? Gross. Well, this is actually getting kind of awkward that I'm hitting no land drops, but also not finding any answers to Flensing Raptor. They managed to pivot my ability to race them exceptionally fast. Icky. If we're not going to draw a land, I would at least prefer to draw a raptor so that we could invalidate their raptor. I mean, realistically, I have a lot of things in my deck that handle that raptor. Okay. Well, that means we have even more draws in the deck that are just actively very good. Okay. What kind of combat trick do you think you have, opponent? No, thank you. Presumably this is worth using now and not saving for after Ovika. Yeah, I think so. Alright, time to test the opponent's removal and my top decks. Hate them hovering over that. Please stop. Don't sit there implying you have removal. I hope they're hovering to read it. I want them to stop, though, because it's scaring me. Delightful. That's what we were hoping for. Them having nothing. The tablet of completion was acceptable. I don't have any complaints about it. I can't really attack super good, though, can I? Maybe I can. Maybe I can just swing with Ovika here. Put them to 9. I got a 5 on the backswing. Yeah, okay. Shouldn't have played the tablet of completion then if I've decided this is what I was willing to do. Migucheras! Thanks for the raid! Oh, really? Okay. Is that good for me? That's very good for me, I think. Okay. I was not expecting them to block and then do nothing. That's wild. Oil counter? Land, okay. It's a thing that exists. 6 damage. Do we play a land? Yes, because I do have a draw 3 in the deck. So I think going empty-handed to play my lands is worthwhile. Three blockers, meaning currently, if I attack with everything, I have lethal. I don't think I'm ever willing to take that risk. Yeah, there's the planar disruption. But they have to pay 3 for that. And also, I have a naturalize in play, which is probably going to make them relatively sad. Five mana, pay 3 life to kill a 3/2 is not the most exciting thing in the world, is it? So, opponent has 1 piece of equipment and 1 planar disruption, which partially makes me more interested in Surgical Spellbomb, because Surgical Spellbombing tokens typically feels good. However, Flensing Raptor was like the scariest thing they played all game, and Volt Charge is an answer to that. I think I'm willing to cut Tablet on the draw for a Volt Charge. This is an extremely cool deck. I still suspect the white deck was probably better, but like, how often do you get a deck that gets to do like, take 4 colors in sealed, any combination of any of them winds up being playable, and also runs the gambit? Is it runs the gambit between multiple different things, or is it? Am I doing the thing where that's like not actually what that's saying is? Because that doesn't make sense. Is it gamut? Runs the gam. It's gamut. Okay. What's a gamut? Experience, display, or perform the complete range of something. A gamut is the entire scope of something. Okay, cool. Don't ask what gamut means. In my defense, I said both of those before I could read your chat. I'm just preempting you. That's all. We've got to fill these sideboarding voids with something, don't we? But yeah, very rarely do you get a sealed pool like this that can be an above average version of like every archetype and color combination except black. Normally, if you did get that, you would assume blue is the color that was being left out, but not this time. Okay. This is weirdly, like, kind of excellent. I mean, not, like, great, but... With Dune Mover, do we get an island, a mountain, or nothing? So basically it's Dragon Wing Glider versus Insight and Blue Suns on which land we were to get. It also would change whether we turn 3 Atlas or turn 3 Volt Charge, might be a reason to grab a mountain. But also we have 2 Gitaxian Raptors that would warrant getting blue. Have to get nothing unless we draw spell. I mean, if I draw lands, I'm comfortable getting nothing with Dune Mover. It's mostly just solidly flexible here, right? I just realized I'm playing the right event, right? I must be, because we had an unfinished actual sealed pool. But this isn't like the championship arena, so now I'm kind of nervous. That perhaps I selected the wrong event, and we don't get to use the super cool pool in the event. Wouldn't that be the saddest start? Keeping the tension up while the opponent disconnects. I mean, the times where you don't get to do anything with Dune Mover, it's still Goblin Piker that was colorless, and like, I'm on board for Goblin Piker but colorless in a lot of decks. Alright, now I think we have to get the island, probably. I don't think I care about turn 3 Volt Charge, probably? Unless my opponent plays something that I'm like really critical about Volt Charging. Like if the opponent was to play the 1/1 Toxic Double Striker, I would probably go grab a mountain with Dune Mover. But otherwise, for the most part, I would think that I generally want to Volt Charge after playing Serum Core Chimera, rather than before. A 2-1 vanilla for 2 is usually not very exciting these days, that is true. But when you are a defensive deck... That's true, they did skip turn 1. And also are now about to automatically discard the hand size. And also, I think at this point, for skipping 2 turns in a row, they are going to instantly concede, is how this works. I don't think the body is a good defender, but I think the body is an acceptable defender. Like, not all the time, but a fair whack of time. White specifically gets a lot of 2-drops that embarrass it, but most of the other colors don't attack through it super well. That's true, we are in the right event. Delightful. On the draw with no 2-drop, I don't love. But we have the mana to cast all the 1 and 2 drops in our deck, and Gitaxian Raptor is a heck of a card. And now our mana's mostly perfect, so that's cool. That's less cool. I don't love that, opponent. Calm down. Just don't play a 3-drop? Okay. Alright. Well, it could have been worse. No removal 1 time! One time. Really rude, opponent. Just straight up ignoring the 1 time. Yes, they're almost empty-handed. Well, this would be a very, very, very good time to draw a mountain and also a thing that does 1 damage to everything. Gleeful Demolition. Ah, that's awkward that that's red. You know, you're not enchantment, right? Yeah. Alas. Think I would rather Volt Charge the Sinew Dancer here, probably. Actually, maybe I'd rather Volt Charge a Phyrexian Might, as embarrassing as that is. I'm assuming I'm Tyvar standing after they attempt to tap down the Chimney Rabble. Do we attack to enable Corrupted Opponent? Alright. Well, in that case... I don't really care about killing the Swooping Lookout, though. I think we just have to Insight. There we go! So what Gleeful... it's probably worth Gleeful Demolitioning a Swooping Lookout. Mono Blue Tron has become a thing longer than I've played Magic. Or has been a thing longer than I've played Magic. Oh no! My 3/3! This could still get dicey. Yeah, I wish I was an artifact. Okay. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of unannoying. Am I supposed to play Immobilizer to tap down the Grimnark, or am I supposed to play Dragon Wing to trade with the Evangelist? Probably the Immobilizer, I think. That's concerning. Still feel kind of obligated to block, but they're probably going to +2/+2 it. No? Okay. Edifice? Yeah, alright. Deal. I'll take it. Alright, opponent, what you got for me on the top decks? Currently staring at just straight up lethal in the air next turn. Need to make absolutely sure to use the Immobilizer. Sweet. Do I even bother Glistener Searing? I guess I have 2 extra mana, so why not? Yeah, that's a 2-mana card. Deal. Bonk. 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 This feels like a good turn of Magic. I think that was a good turn of Magic. Alright. Good times, good times, good times. So, Skrelv's Hive, eh? We have Cankerbloom for that. Is there anything else we have that could be meaningful against Skrelv's Hive? There's Hazardous Blast, but that doesn't sound like a good idea. Just sounds like an acceptable one. Do we really have 3 Mirror Custodians? Goodness gracious. I don't think we have any super meaningful changes we can make here. I don't see myself being willing to splash for Vanish into Eternity. Nope, alright. We could Skull Bomb a token. I don't think that's the tempo we're going to be looking for this time around, though. So if we go completely undefeated through this event with this teamer deck, does that mean we made the correct choice not playing the green-white-red deck instead? Even if that deck probably was better, regardless. Hmm. These are the kind of philosophical questions that keep me up at night. Oh. Do we? I mean, this is like a legitimately good hand, though. A pile of X1s is not the best against Skrelv's Hive, to be fair. But if they do anything other than turn 2 Skrelv's Hive, I'm probably pretty happy with this. People actually mulligan these hands? You know, I don't usually mulligan hands like this. I don't know how consistent I think this deck is, and I'm not sure how good I think X1s are against my opponent's deck, but that was basically just off of Skrelv's Hive, you know? So, like... Alright, 5-drop was not what we were looking to start with. Oh no. What are we throwing away here? I think we're throwing away Branch Blight. That could be a problem. We're at 48% to draw a land. And I still think this is pretty winnable if we draw a land. Hey, we did it. Alright, opponent missed a land drop. So basically I think we win. That's fine. I'm probably going to wind up Gleeful Demolitioning the Mirror Convert rather than Gleeful Demolitioning Prophetic Prism, given that my opponent's missing land drops and I want to cut them off color fixing and ramp. I'm probably supposed to grab the island here and just commit to playing the Prophetic Prism rather than grabbing the second mountain for Dragonwing Glider. Snap Block. Oh, Dune Mover, you're such a good Magic card. Ooh. Blue Sun's Twilight seems like a pretty good Magic card. Oh no, Skrelv's Hive. What a powerful Magic the Gathering card. Do I play Gataxian Raptor? Because it's more expensive? Or do I probably should just naturalize. Yeah, Dune Mover's one of those cards that's like weirdly good in basically every archetype. So it does tend to get drafted. Huh. Well, that's awkward. I mean, yes, but still awkward. This is the part where, if I was top decking Gleeful Demolition, I would be very happy to get to use it on my Prophetic Prism. But, unfortunately, we already used it to do amazing, excellent, wonderful things. No, not vanish into eternity on my thingy. I needed that for doing thingies. Well, we're taking 1 damage a turn for the time being. Admittedly a little awkward that the opponent is missing land drops, because they're not playing bombs for me to Blue Sun's Twilight. Oh no, my tutu. could, like, steal something and copy it, but I do not wish to. Oh, I shouldn't have played that land. Wait, no. I'm scared of my opponent making me discard a card with the 6-drop, but also I guess they're probably not very close to playing a 6-drop, are they? If they spend 4 mana to deal 2 damage to me, oh no, it's 1 mana to do 2 damage to me. Oh no! That's so much worse for me. I mean, that's pretty good too. I mean, I gotta assume Ward 3 is kind of annoying for them to deal with here, right? Deal. Yeah, we may end up casting Blue Sun's Twilight for X equals 5. That might happen. It might not happen, though. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, I'm going to assume Sinew Dancer targets the Ovika. Well, in which case we still get to do 3 damage. So maybe we're best off killing the Sinew Dancer? I could also just Blue Sun's Twilight a Swooping Lookout. Or Scheming Aspirant might be better. And just get in with 6 damage worth of 1/1s? Probably not 6 damage, we probably leave some back on blocking duty. Oh no, wait, that's what the Scheming Aspirants are for. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I was really hoping we would draw a card that proliferates and get to hit him for 4. Yeah, that seemed pretty good. Yeah, Ovika makes hasty tokens. It's fun. Ovika is a heck of a card. It takes a lot to be a 7-drop worth playing in this format, and Ovika and Atraxa are the two that fit the bill quite well. Atraxa is absolutely worth first picking, but Ovika is not quite worth first picking and going into 4-color ramp, but it's very close. I would certainly first pick Ovika in a lot of packs that didn't have, like, an above-average uncommon or, like, Contagious Vorak. Hexgold Slash are probably the 2 commons I would pick over Ovika. We will take the play. We will keep this amazing hand. Venerated Rock Priest? That sounds scary. Thank goodness we have this here 2-drop to block it. We're supposed to get blue or red. I imagine it's probably better to get the island. No combat trick. Don't play a fight spell. That'd be disgusting. Okay. That's so much better for me than a fight spell. Pump spell? I'd rather them do it on this. Then what? Develop the board? Makes it easier for me to block with Serum Core Chimera later. Not being able to get Toxic to flashback viral spawning is kind of annoying, but I still like them wasting their mana on that. Especially like them not making land drops. Not triggering Serum Core Chimera is a little sad. Yeah, alright. Well, they just unlocked their mana quite hard. Oh, whiffed on Vorak? Maybe you didn't... They might have whiffed intentionally, though. That did turn on Corrupted. Well, I mean, that's actually pretty reasonable. Don't mind me, opponent. I'm just gonna put a mountain on top of my deck and then play a land. Nothing suspicious happening here at all. Should I don't think this is a world in which I ever pump Serum Core Chimera and attack for 4. Yeah, maybe it was. I don't know, maybe it... Nah, because I still care about blocking the Rot Priest. Hmm. 4 mana. So what are you gonna do if I do this, opponent? Save the Vorak. Okay. Lose the Rot Priest. We both knew that was coming. Probably should have attacked first. But also, I don't know that it changes anything. Hopefully no 2-mana removal, but if they had 2-mana removal, part of the reason the earlier block into the potential combat trick made sense was that I felt like it encouraged them to use the 2-mana removal that made the Yovika safer. Gross. Good, though. +6. Indestructible. Interesting. Okay, opponent. I'm willing to pass. You attacked with Contagious Vorak last time. What'll you do this time? Really hope they like Black Sun's Twilight to shrink my Yovika, paying a bunch of life. Oh, Tyvar's stand is so good, opponent. I don't actually get to, like, blow that out with my Tyvar's stand. I agree, opponent. I'm having fun. I feel like my Tyvar stand that made 7/1/1s was better than their Tyvar stand that didn't make 7/1/1s, though. That's a cool card. Alright, well, let's ship it. You think we can get them to block with Rustvine Cultivator on a 1-1? Maybe I should have attacked like one less 1-1. I'm playing Teamer opponent. I put blue in my deck. You know I have dumb cards in my deck if I was willing to do that. Let's be fair. What are we doing here? No changes. I'm not willing to throw this away, but this is definitely risky if we don't end up drawing green. Opponent mulliganed. That's something. Good 1-drop. That's bad. More green cards. Normally I would be so happy about that. Gross. Okay, never mind. Never had any problems whatsoever. Sure. Guess I gotta let him have the Pestilence Siphoner. Playing the Canker Bloom because if they have a combat trick to attack with the Skull Dweller, then I get to use the rest of my mana to sack the Canker Bloom to blow up the Maze's Mantle, which isn't good, but is something. Alright. Serum Core Chimera into Volt Charge is cool. I feel like we are stabilizing. Which match is this? 3, I believe. Two counters on Serum Core Chimera. Everybody's favorite. Three counters on Serum Core Chimera. Continuing adventures of everybody's favorite. Yeah, you don't really have good attacks without using a combat trick of some sort, opponent. Oh, this can only be... Oh, shoot, I should have done this as a sorcery. I thought that was an instant. Tiny mistake. Oh, hey, cool. That's a good card. I like that card. Alright, let's do this thing now. I'm good. I'm not going to discard anything, I don't think. I think we're happy with where we're at. What are we gonna steal from them? All of my cards seem pretty good. Oh, I want that. Cool. This ought to be fun. 5. Steal you. Trigger Serum Core Chimera. Well, we're done, opponent? We're not gonna We're not gonna play it out? I haven't even gotten you below 20 yet. I was gonna get to trigger Proliferate and put an extra counter on my Serum Core Chimera. I don't think we've dropped a game yet. Good times, good times. Once again on the draw. I still think it's correct to keep this hand even if it's almost punished me last time. Never punished. Blade Ambassador's a little sad. I guess Gitaxian Raptor ain't bad against Bladed Ambassador, though. And bare minimum, Bladed Ambassador is not hurting us by enabling Toxic. It's almost tempting to tax their mana by jumping in front of that, but I guess them not doing anything is also an option. These don't have removal. Should I? I'm going to assume not. No! Damn. Alright, well, that Bladed Ambassador is a minor issue. No. Okay. You got a removal spell number 2, opponent? Yeah, I probably should have attacked with the Dune Mover. I was thinking if the opponent had the make 2 mites at instant speed, I would be willing to block a mite with Dune Mover, but they probably wouldn't have attacked into Raptor in that situation regardless, huh? What you got for me, opponent? No Edifice, 1 time. Cool. Also cool. I'm going to assume I would rather have a 3/3 than a Tablet of Completion. Although, ticking Tablet up towards Blue Sun's Twilight is really tempting. Viral Spawning was also a reason we would care about that 1 Toxic. I think I would just rather spend my mana efficiently. Hazardous Blast would be cool. Even better would be if we drew a 5/5 that kills a bunch of their creatures. That would be rad. I really want a Blue Sun's Twilight for 5, stealing their Indoctrination Attendant, so that I get to bounce my Prophetic Prism. Oh, Vika, you're also cool. I have no complaints about you whatsoever. Cool. Love my opponent doing nothing. Love my opponent continuing to do nothing. Very well. Gitaxian Raptor is like such an excellent card that has inconvenienced my opponents so massively this game. Oh, delightful. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, the whiteboard wipe's possible. The other possibility is that they just have a bunch of lands in hand, because I don't think, unless they top-decked the board wipe, they wouldn't have sacked Fair Basilica in that case. Besides, if the opponent plays a board wipe, we just top-deck our thing that does 1 damage to everything. Uses some chill tunes. This is actually just the ambient arena music. Oh no! That card doesn't do anything. Too bad.
I can't stand by.
So sad.
Who threatens the multiverse?
Gitaxian Raptor's a lot worse when it's a 1/1, huh? Okay. You got it, opponent.
Who's next?
So anyway... Ian. I think this is the part where they concede. Or is it the part where I get the raw value of bouncing Prophetic Prism? It was the Prophetic Prism. I thought so. Oh, good times, good times. Well, any changes? Almost don't hate Hazardous Blast, but also probably mostly hate Hazardous Blast. I don't think there's anything I could justify cutting for Hazardous Blast, right? I maybe could justify cutting a Branch Blightstalker for a Shrapnel Slinger, even though it's a lot harder to cast in light of Might.deck. Nah, don't think so. Means they don't have White Suns or the Wanderer? Yeah! It could be telling in that way. I mean... Wow, this is a good hand. I love Dune Mover so much. Oh no! Oh god! Oh, opponent, I'm sorry. Oh. Oh, I'm a happy camper. I'm assuming they're gonna kill my Dune Mover, though. This deck is sweet. Do you think you would have ran this variation in the qualifier, or would you have tried the other build? I don't know. Oh, wow, that was worse than Anoint for me. Now they have stuff online. Sad. I might have still went with this build, but I would have spent a lot more time thinking about it. There's a lot of poison. It's getting a little scary. We're almost approaching the point at which, if they kill this Predation Steward, I probably would have Gleeful Demolitioned my Atlas. Ugh. That's pretty bad. Land? Thank you. Alright. Just in time. This could still go pretty sideways, though. Turn 1 Bilious Skull Dweller into Toxic Removal did a lot of work. Uh-oh. Please no combat trick? Alright. Head Cleaver? Oh, shoot. That might be good enough. Red source? Oh, deck, you never fail. Never, ever, ever failing. Am I willing to go to 7? Yeah. They've used no copies of Anoint. As tempting as it is to play Ovika here, I think it's actually better against the Head Cleaver to just go wide. Now that I'm considering attacking, I should have done that before combat. I mean, I should have played the Canker Bloom before combat, in case they have flash auras, but didn't need to give them the information about the Chimney Rabble. Sure. Sweet. We got him to use the Anoint on the Chimney Rabble instead of the Ovika. That sounds like what we were hoping for to me. Okay. Deal! I love it. We're sitting here with a Cinder Slash Ravager that has been excellent at any point in time that we could have cast it, and just, like, didn't need to. Yeah, not having the Prism kind of sucks, to be fair. We'll just have to bounce a land instead. It wouldn't take a lot of Proliferate or other ways to give Toxic with Reach for them to get these last 3 points in, though. Well, yeah, this is a really tempting spot to Cinder Slash Ravager, but you know what's a better way to deal with a bunch of 1/1s? Just make more 1/1s than them. Am I supposed to bounce the Phyrexian Atlas? I can replay it later on for more 1/1s. Oh, no. I guess I don't get to bounce anything. Never mind. Alright, well... I think about half of this stream was deck building. And And then we just never lost a single game of Magic, despite missing our second land drop on occasion. So this was a cool sealed deck. I'm going to be posting this on Twitter alongside the sealed pool, because, wow, that was a just incredibly interesting pool. I will probably stream tomorrow with like a 20-minute delay, I think. Oh, and hopefully the same for Sunday. But let's go. I want to discard changes. Sealed deck tech. Home. Resume. Add to decks. Deck. Sealed deck.tech. Remove, 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 to the sideboard, 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 to the sideboard. I'm gonna, like, post about this on Twitter, because I think this is a really interesting pool to see what people would do with. Boop, 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 boop. Also can give it to the folks in chat. But if you don't want to stick around for that, we're going to be closing up after this and just rating somebody, so, like, you don't have to stick around. Dude. Does 84 sound like the right number of cards? I didn't lose any, did I? Not playing the 2/3s was super interesting. Yeah, I mean, I view those two as just like vanilla flyers, and I don't think we needed the vanilla flyers, basically. Oh. Yeah, that's true. I said we were going to try to speedrun it, and this is probably the closest to speedrunning something in Magic that I've ever actually accomplished when I said that. Done. Would you like to save? Yes. Okay. Paste deck. Export. Paste. No, this is not the right deck. Oh, was that a phantom event? So I don't actually have the cards? No? Did it just hide it somewhere because it's not a legal deck? Because 0 cards is, like, against the rules or something? Is it you? I think it's this one. Yes, perfect. Come on. Export. Paste. Alright. What's the time window for tomorrow? Early. That is the sealed pool for folks who wanted to take a look at it. That is just so many fascinating... Can we see the Untitled Goose deck? Yes, we can. That is possibly the most interesting pool I have seen in a really long time. Decks. Untitled Goose deck. What format was this? Standard. Yeah, that sounds about right. Right? Sometimes I think about how hard Magic is, and it's nice to have that deck to remind me. Where did it just go? Oh, it moved up there. Cool. Alright. Let's find one spot to throw a raid before we close up for the evening. Oh, also, I guess we wanted to figure out when tomorrow starts. 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. So I'll wake up, click enter on this, and then probably go like eat breakfast. So I will not necessarily be starting around 8 a.m. It might be closer to 9 or 10. Where are we throwing the raid to? I don't know how close Ali Eldrazi is, but we'll head over there. That should be a fun time. VML may... I don't think the VML is live currently, because I'm like fairly certain I follow the channel. I don't? Wait, what?
Yes.
Why don't I? Oh, yeah, they're super live. All right, well, it's not the same format, but we're heading over there. Did they change the... I could have sworn I was following that already. Good to know that I'm not. They're wrapping up. Is that the case? I thought they started like an hour and a half ago. Are they already done? What do we think? Are we wrapping up or are we in between rounds? I don't know. Couldn't hurt. Either way. We'll head over to say goodbye if that is what they're doing. One more match? Perfect. Alright, everybody. Have fun.